Well, just your thoughts on Minnesota Duluth. You guys haven't seen him yet this year, but I guess you watch a little of them.
Yeah, I watch a whole lot of them, and I think last year we only played them once too in their building there, and yeah, I think obviously again I've said it before, two teams that are I think coached very much the same way, that have probably the same identity as far as how they want to play. And similar players in their lineup. So, yeah, no, they're two teams that are going to be very desperate, very urgent, and two teams that are going to be hungry to try to keep climbing through the NCHC standings here.
How do you guys keep your goaltenders' confidence there when it's been a tough go for
Well,
them?
yeah, well, I think first of all, we talked a lot this week about D-zone coverage and about eliminating playing on the inside, and I think that's number one, right? Knowing that we're in this together. The three words that we go out to the rink are we, us, and our. It's not just the goaltenders or just the defense. It's we, us, and our, and I think it's collectively as a group, and part of that is being on our toes and communicative and being alert. And I think, when things go bad, with a little bit of adversity, when a team's pressing a little bit or scoring a couple of goals, we got to dig our heels in, and we got to make sure that we are assertive. We play with swagger, and that's part of our group. And we can't have any situations on what's going to happen and what if. It's got to be, hey, next shift mentality. And I think that goes into our practices here. We've had 3 really good practices here. We've got a lot out of it. And I think it's one of those things that, what's behind us can't control. We can control what's in front of us. And we got to make sure that we control it with some swagger and some bite.
I know you were preaching just kind of overall confidence to your team, especially kind of in the third period.
Yep.
Just what were some of the things that you told them to improve on?
Well, every day when we go in and we do video work in the in the film room or the classroom area, there's 5 things that describe our identity, and I won't get into each one of them, but the last couple are predictability, being on the same page, same page, and that's being team first, doing all the things you are to be a good teammate, to have success as a team, as a 5-man unit or 6 guys with a goalie on the ice. And then the last one in our group here is mental toughness and grit. And I think that's a huge one. When you think of anything in life, and especially in sports, the mental side of the game is huge. And when things are going great, everybody can play that way, right? When it's going great. But when it's kind of shaky or it's going the other way with momentum, that's when you really got to dig in and be mentally tough. And how does that happen? It's got to be obviously everybody individually being a little bit better in that area, but our leaders, to doing a little bit more as far as the communication. Us coaches probably doing a little bit more and trying to get the ship the right way. And how do you do that? Is build shift at a time. We call them stacking shifts. And momentum is built when you have a positive shift, then you get another one, then you get another one. Not just having a great shift and then having 2 or 3 go the other way and then having one more. That doesn't build continuity and momentum. And so that goes down to mental toughness and grit, and I think we could be better in that area too.
Some changes kind of with lines, it seems like, this week in practice. Is it stuff not working or just trying something new to get wins?
Well, I think what we want to do is I think it's a situation where I think we're scoring some goals, especially on power play. We're getting very good production there. 5-on-5 goal production's coming from some of our depth players or guys in those situations. And some of our top 6 forwards I don't think are probably being consistent enough offensively. But I think our biggest thing is making sure that we're very good defensively with all 4 lines, and kind of having a blend or some depth on each of the 4 lines. And so we've kind of mixed things up, maybe just moving one guy off each line and going from there. But, at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing, too, is winning faceoffs, especially in our end of the rink. I feel that we're losing a lot more faceoffs than winning in our end of the rink, which allows the other team to start with the puck. And we have to be stronger in that area. And what we have right now is, I think, four bodies that are a little bit bigger that can maybe at least not only try to win a puck back, but try to create a 50-50 for our wingers to come in to help out.
Talk about faceoffs. How's Schmaltzy doing?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He got bumped up in practice here, just very innocent play. But at the end of the day, we gave him the day off today. We'll see what tomorrow looks like, and hopefully he'll be available for the weekend.
Closing out 7 straight at home. Crazy it's already the middle of the NCHC play. Just kind of mindset with that.
Yeah, well, again, like I said, it's been kind of a obscure year, and the fact that we've been home a lot in the first half, then we went on the road to close off the first half of the season, been on the road for a while, and now we're at home again. And, it's very incumbent upon us as far as trying to end on a positive note at home, knowing that the last few games are going to be right down to the crunch, going to Miami, going to Denver, going to CC, and then 4 games at home. So 6 on the road, 4 at home after this. And again, we got to make sure that we take advantage of the situation of playing in a great environment with great fans and get the momentum like we did early on Saturday night.
With the goaltending right now, is there a competition at all? Or?
Yeah, you know what, and that's why Caleb went in the net on Saturday. I think, it's exactly not in a position where we want to be, but again, that's, I'll go into the team side of it, as far as it's incumbent upon all of us together be better, but, in that situation, we're going to go through the practices here through this week and determine who's our starter and go from there. And again, at the end of the day, you wish and you hope that, you can run a guy right away and you can take it right to the end. But right now, we're going to have the guy that's playing the most consistent.
Can you compare, maybe just the fact at this point of the season, the goalies could be anyone. Can you compare that to any team that you've either coached or been on or anything?
Well, I probably couldn't, but I know, back in, I think, '82 in the national championship year, they had 3 goalies that they used here. And Tim, you can help me with this, but John Casey, Darren Jensen, and Lamoureux, right? Yeah. Pierre Lamoureux. And those guys, shared the net. And, I think on Gino, Gino's an unbelievable coach. I think, he had a gut instinct on which guy to play at what time. And those guys ran to the championship year. And there wasn't a decisive number 1. So I probably go back to that year. There's probably years in between that, of there and now. But, it's a situation in North Dakota. It's a beautiful thing in the fact that whether you're a draft pick or a guy on low money scholarship, a depth player come in, and the guys that are going to perform and practice in the games consistently are the guys that are going to play, and I think that's why we've had a lot of success here.
What habits, what do you want to see with the team this weekend that will tell you they've been learning from the past mistakes and past losses?
Well, I think it's a situation of, being good defensively first. And again, all championship teams start off with good defense, and which leads to their offense. And I think especially in some areas, without getting into the weeds of this, some guys that are having a tough time, be more consistent in their game as far as playing on the inside. It seems like some guys are having a tougher time than others as far as, being responsible defensively. And having those guys that get those minutes, whatever those minutes look like, that they're dependable, they're reliable, and they're helping our team to play in the offensive zone. Good? Thank you.